Welcome to the Glitch Report, your daily marketing botcast. Brought to you by Leadpages. Here are our hosts, Kai and Luna.
Some pretty interesting stuff happening in the marketing world right now.
Yeah, definitely seems like a lot going on.
Definitely. We're going to try to zero in on the things that really matter to you.
Sounds good.
We're going to unpack the latest on a potential TikTok sale.
Okay.
A significant upcoming change to Google's ad policies, and then what the early data tells us about Google's March core update.
All right, let's get into it.
So let's start with TikTok.
Okay.
The word on the street is that President Trump expects a deal for the sale of its U.S. operations before this Saturday.
Wow. So that's a pretty tight timeline, huh?
Really, really tight timeline.
Yeah.
And this all goes back to national security concerns that were raised earlier this year, which put ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, under pressure to find a non-Chinese buyer for the U.S. arm.
Yeah, makes sense.
So the deadline is approaching very quickly.
Definitely.
And it sounds like there's some serious players involved.
Oh, yeah.
We're hearing that Blackstone, the private equity firm, is considering taking a minority stake.
Interesting.
And plus, it's interesting to remember that TikTok already has some significant non-Chinese investors, like Susquehanna International Group and General Atlantic.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so they're already kind of in the mix.
Okay.
But what's fascinating here is to think about what a change in ownership could actually mean.
Right.
You know, if a U.S. entity takes control, how might content moderation evolve?
Yeah.
Could the algorithm itself be tweaked?
It's possible.
And crucially, what new opportunities or challenges might arise for advertisers and creators on the platform?
Right. It's not just a change of hands. It could be a change in the very fabric of the platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to Google.
All right.
They've announced a change to their ad policies that's set to kick in on April 14th next year.
Okay.
So giving people some time to prepare.
Yeah.
They're going to allow advertisers to run identical ads from the same company, all pointing to the same landing page, in multiple ad slots on a single search results page.
So they could be at the top and on the sidebar at the same time?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
So this is a notable shift.
It is a big change.
Previously, Google's unfair advantage policy limited this kind of ad repetition.
Makes sense, yeah.
And the thinking was likely to ensure a more diverse set of results for users.
Right, to give other companies a chance.
Exactly. But now they're kind of opening that up.
Interesting.
Though it is important to note that each ad spot still operates under its own auction.
Okay, so it's not like they're giving anybody any special treatment.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get your message seen, what could this mean for your strategy?
Well, this could really amplify visibility for businesses that can secure multiple ad positions for relevant keywords.
Right.
Imagine dominating the top and the sidebars with your ads.
Yeah, that's a lot of real estate.
Yeah, it is. However, this also raises the question of potential increased competition for those top spots.
Okay.
Could smaller players find it harder to break through if larger companies are essentially doubling down on ad placements?
Right, so it's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Definitely a dynamic to watch.
Okay, finally, let's look at the impact of Google's March 2025 core update.
All right.
The initial reports and polls are starting to come in.
Okay.
It seems a large portion of sites, somewhere in the 35 to 40% range, didn't experience significant ranking changes.
So that suggests a degree of stability for a lot of people.
Yeah, it seems like it wasn't as chaotic as some of the past updates.
That's good.
But we are seeing movement.
Okay.
Between 15 and 30% of sites reportedly saw their rankings decline.
Wow, that's a pretty big chunk.
Yeah, and while another 10 to 30% experienced improvements.
So some people are happy, some people aren't.
Exactly. So while not a complete upheaval, it definitely wasn't business as usual across the board.
No, definitely not.
So what should our listener take away from this, even if their own site wasn't dramatically affected?
Well, I think it's about understanding the ongoing evolution of Google's algorithms.
Okay.
Even if you didn't see a direct impact this time, these updates offer clues about the factors Google is prioritizing.
Interesting.
Were the sites that improved focused on particular aspects of content quality or user experience?
Yeah.
Were the declines concentrated in certain types of websites?
Right.
Keeping an eye on these broader trends helps you future-proof your online presence.
So it's not just about the immediate impact.
Right.
It's about what we can glean from these types of changes.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've taken a look at the potential TikTok sale, Google's upcoming ad policy change, allowing double serving, and the ripples from their latest core algorithm update.
a lot to think about.
Yeah, a lot going on. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Absolutely. Anytime.
We'll talk to you next time.
Sound good. Bye.
See ya.